But before that, we want to talk postnatal depression. It's something that affects many new mums, but it might surprise you to learn that men can experience it too.
So there are many triggers for this. Unfortunately, there's also plenty of stigma, but one dad has made it his mission to turn all that around. He shared his story with Carolyn Robinson.
The Baby Show. A sea of strollers, stands and squeals. But amongst the hundreds of stalls, just one aimed solely at dads. The Father and Child Trust is hoping to catch some of the 10% of dads who'll steer their way through postnatal depression.
50 or 60,000 births in New Zealand. So to us that means 5,000 or 6,000 dads having some sort of issues. Some of them are driving around the block 3 times before they come home. They're not sure what to do when they get there.
It can look so easy.
And then once they're in, you can just keep washing the dishes. The thing is, you can wash them at the same time.
But amid the light stuff, for many, there are moments of darkness.
All I want to do is hide away and be by myself. And to be honest, I don't even want to really say this, but to just cry. And that's I don't do that. It's not really the way I've been brought up.
You didn't want us to identify you in this story. Why is that?
I feel ashamed to be able to show myself and be judged. I don't know how people would respond. I'm afraid. I'm afraid to come forward.
He says even those close to him haven't really understood.
They'll turn around and generally say to me, you know, harden up, everything's going to be okay.
Research shows men are more likely to get postnatal depression if their partner has it.
Dads should know that they get the hormone changes too. That if they're close to mum in the 3rd trimester, around baby time, their hormones will change. They'll get some of the stress hormones and some of the bonding hormones.
Brendan's been there too.
I came home and everybody was yelling and I said, oh, what's the matter? Do you want me to stay at home with baby or something? And she said yes.
It was the start of a journey through depression that eventually led to him helping other dads.
None of us like to admit it when our family thing isn't working right. And yeah, I think it's just as hard for mums or dads to admit when they need help about those things.
There's no magic solution, but there are things to watch out for.
Did you stay at work too long? Did you happen to have a new role at the time with shift work? Were you doing up a house at the time? Were there money worries? He's expected to be the perfect husband, the perfect father, a good provider, and, you know, a good rugby player or something.
So if a dad comes to you, what's the first thing you'd say to him?
How are you? And so many of them say, if only I had known.
Got to tell you, I didn't even know it existed.
Didn't you?
No.
I can totally understand why it would, because there is a lot of focus on the mother, obviously, after you give birth, and you're the one that's scared you've just given birth, and you kind of look to your partner like, help, be the strong one, and they don't know what they're doing either. Is that the thing, though?
Because, I mean, you understand that women, when it's a lot of physical, it changes your entire world, your whole life, whereas the men, it's, you know, it's I don't know, it's by association, I guess, isn't it? You know what I'm saying?
But I guess it's such an unknown, scary time, and if you're used to being someone that's in control and suddenly you actually don't know how to help. Apparently this is more common in, quote, middle well-to-do families, and 30% of separations happen in the first year after having a baby. So this is a really real thing.